Hi everyone, this is Yoga with Maria. I'm Maria, and today we're going to be talking about Surya Namaskar. So Surya Namaskar is a Sanskrit term, and it means salutations to the sun or salute to the sun, or often in classes we call them Sun Salutations. And Sun Salutations are incorporated in many yoga classes, especially open level or advanced classes. And I certainly include them in a lot of my video classes here on YouTube at Yoga with Maria, as well as in many of my teachings. So if you're new to yoga, this is going to be a great video for you. I'm going to break this down and talk about it in a little bit more detail and give you some options to try if you're still building strength or are injured. So let's get started. Put on something comfy. I'm going to start by showing you a classic sun salutation, and then we'll break it down a couple variations that you can take. Again, like I said, if you're injured or you're wanting to build strength, or if mostly the hardest posture in sun salutation, chaturanga, is feeling too difficult for you. So if you want to do this with me, come to the top of your space or your mat, bring the big toes to touch. Every sun salutation starts in a Tadasana pose, which is mountain pose. The feet ground down into the mat, the arms reach down towards the floor, the chest is lifted, the crown of the head reaches up, and the low belly pulls slightly in. This is an active pose, even though it looks simple and it looks like we're just standing. On your breath in, you're going to reach the arms up and overhead. The gaze goes up to see the hands touch. On your exhale, you'll bend at the waist and fold forward. The hands can come to blocks or the floor. The head falls all the way heavy. On your inhale, you'll half lift. Find length in the spine and in the waist. You're looking forward. On your exhale, you'll bend the knees, plant the hands, and shoot the feet back, landing in chaturanga, bending at the elbows only 90 degrees. Inhale, upward facing dog. The chest lifts. The thighs are off the mat. The tops of the feet press. The gaze is up. Exhale, you'll roll over the toes. Hips lift up and back for downward facing dog. Typically, you'll stay in a downward facing dog for 5 breaths. We'll take a few here, in and out, breathing in and out. Breathe in, lift the heels, breathe out, bend the knees. Step or jump to the front of the mat on empty, half lift when you arrive, finding length in the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, stand all the way up, arms reach up and overhead, look up. Exhale, hands pull through the center of the body, and then stand tall, find Tadasana. So that's a classic sun salutation A. Now I'm going to take you through a couple versions that give you another option instead of jumping back to chaturanga, which is quite difficult. There's a lot of weight to catch on your arms, and to keep the shoulders and the elbows safe, you really only want to go 90 degrees, so that can be quite difficult, especially as you're building strength in the upper body and control in the core. So we'll go through 2 different versions here. Many of the movements are the same, and you can just replace some of these movements in any sort of class, whether you're practicing with me or someone else in a studio or at home on your own. So once again, we'll start in Tadasana. Breathe in, reach the arms up overhead, look up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Breathe in, half lift. You might bring the hands to blocks. I always recommend bringing the hands to blocks if you are working on flexibility in the legs or any of these things are not accessible. So the half lift here with hands on the blocks, or you can take a half lift with the hands on the shins or the thighs. Always know that those are options. Exhale, fold over the legs. And then plant the hands. Instead of jumping back, you can always just step back to a plank pose, top of a push-up. And then from here, the first variation we're going to take is called knees, chest, chin. So you'll lower the knees, and then you'll drop the belly down, kind of like a cow pose when we do cat-cow. And then you'll bend at the elbows. The elbows pull straight back so that you're still activating the muscles that you need for chaturanga. Building strength there, lowering the chest, then the chin. So when you get to this place, the butt is sticking up. You've got a little bit of a booty pop happening. And then on your breath in, instead of upward facing dog, you'll press down into the hands, keep pulling the elbows back to slide the chest forward. The belly rests on the mat, untuck the toes, squeeze the legs together. This is cobra pose. So it's still a back bend. It's less deep. There's less pressure on the arms and the wrist. But you're still using the muscles of the back to lift the chest up, and you're getting a great back bend here. And then pull the low belly in. Really think about squeezing the legs together and pressing the tops of the feet down. From here, you'll press into the hands, take the seat to the heels, tuck the toes, and then lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. So you ended up in down dog. You might stay here for 5 to 3 breaths. And then when you're ready to come to the front, you can lift the heels, same as the original version, and bend the knees, look forward. Instead of jumping, you can just walk the feet forward. So if the teacher says step or jump, you can take the step option. When you arrive, half lift, exhale, fold, and then breathe in, rise all the way up, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, hands come through the center, standing tall for Tadasana. So that's one option, remembering to take knees, chest, chin to cobra. We'll do one more here. Breathe in, arms reach up. Breathe out, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Once again, hands can come to the shins or the thighs. Exhale, plant the hands, step back for this one as well. From here, you're in the top of a push-up. On your exhale, you just lower all the way to the belly. So this is another really great one to build strength. Elbows pull back, so you're basically taking the chaturanga movement. Untuck the toes. Same thing, lift the head and the chest for cobra. Elbows pull back. Legs squeeze together. The low belly firms and presses down so that the chest can lift up. Put a little tuck in the chin to keep the back of the neck long. And then from here, tuck the toes, take the seat to the heels, and come back to downward facing dog. Once again, staying here for 3 to 5 breaths. When it's time, breathe in to lift the heels. Breathe out, bend the knees, gaze forward. Instead of stepping forward or jumping all the way, you can take small hops. 2, 3, half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Breathe in, rise all the way to stand. Reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, pull the hands through the center. Stand tall for Tadasana. So those are 3 options, breaking down Sun Salutations a little bit more. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. If you haven't yet, subscribe, comment below, and let me know how it went. Can't wait to see you soon. Namaste, yogis.